Oh, I hope you're okay today. Right, let's start on what we're going to do today. So first I am going to show you. I need to share my screen, show you the presentation. Okay. Okay, so today we are going to talk about daily routine, so things that you do every day, and with the tense that is called the present simple. And we have learned the present simple using I, for me, using you, using we for a group of people that you are part of, and using they for a group of people that is outside of you. Okay. Today we are going to focus on using he, she, and it, because this changes the verb a little bit. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, first we are going to revise. We are going to practice what we already know. It's very important to practice. Okay, right. So the review, first we're going to do the review of positive sentences in the present simple. Positive sentences, positive sentence, sorry, you live in Wigan. Nice and easy, okay? Your house is in Wigan, you live in Wigan. That is a yes sentence, it is positive. Now here, okay, this means we're going to make a no sentence, a negative sentence, okay? You live in Wigan, or maybe you don't live in Wigan, okay? Remember, yes sentence, you live, no sentence, you don't live, okay? Right, let's move on. Now, remember what this action was. Daily routine action, wake up, okay? I wake up at 7 o'clock. If you look at this alarm clock here, it says 7 o'clock. So I wake up at 7 o'clock. Okay. This is just review. This is things we've learned. Okay. What about the negative sentence? I don't wake up at 7 o'clock. Okay. So we're going to do this in the next few sentences just for a little bit of revision, a little bit of practice, and you can speak at the same time so it stays in your head if you want. You wake up at 7 o'clock. You don't wake up at 7 o'clock. Okay? You wake up, you don't wake up. Positive, negative. Finish work. They finish work at 5 o'clock. They don't finish work at 5 o'clock. Start work. You start work at 9 o'clock. Or, negative, you don't start work at 9 o'clock. Walk to work. We, group of people, walk to work at 8 o'clock. Negative, we don't walk to work at 8 o'clock. Okay, we've done positive, we've done negative, and also last time we learned about questions. So let's practice this. Do you Do you wake up at 7 o'clock? So remember to ask a question in the present simple. We used do you. Do you wake up at 7 o'clock? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Do they work in a factory? Yes, they do. No, they don't. Do we finish work at 5 o'clock? Yes, we do. No, we don't. Do you walk to work? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Okay, so this is the practice. Now we have practiced positive and negative sentences and questions with I, you, we, and they. Easy, okay? Today, this is the new bit that we are doing, the new grammar, okay? So, let's listen to this, please.
34.1. I wake up at 7 o'clock, but I don't get up straight away. I listen to the radio, and I get up at 7:15.
Lucy wakes up at 7 o'clock, but she doesn't get up straight away. She listens to the radio, and she gets up at 7:15.
Okay, so maybe you have noticed some changes, maybe not. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down and have a look at what is new today. So, positive sentences, okay? You live in Wigan. You live in Wigan. She lives in Wigan. She lives in Wigan. She is for a woman. She lives in Wigan. Okay? Now, don't laugh. I've actually found some toys in the children's bedroom and I thought I could use it. So here we have a woman. Okay? So she lives in Wigan. Positive sentence. He lives in Wigan. Okay, now back to the pictures. Let's have a look at these daily routine words with he and she and it. He, so we have a man, he gets dressed. He starts work at 9 o'clock. She gets up at 7:15. It drinks water every day. So she, woman, he, man, and then if you have a dog or an animal or an object, a thing, something that is not a person, not a man, not a woman, not a child, then it's it. Okay, so now you have noticed that with he, she, and it, you add S, you add that S at the end of the verb, okay? So I get up, she gets up. We start work. He starts work. They drink water. You're going to laugh at this one. It, little dog, it drinks water. Okay, now you have to be very, very careful. As we know, English is difficult. So sometimes you have verbs that are irregular. They are not normal verbs, okay? So some of them have a different spelling when you add the S, okay? So go turns into goes, okay? I go home at 5 o'clock. She goes home at 7 o'clock. Do, does. Watch, listen to this one. Watches, okay? I watch TV every night. She watches TV every Saturday. Finish, finishes. And have makes has, okay? I have breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning, and he has breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning. Right, so that is that. Please, please, please make sure you write these. I'm showing my screen, but it's not that. You write these. Oh no, where's it gone? Sorry, folks. Here we go. You write these strange verbs, irregular verbs in your notebook. It's very, very important. Okay. Okay. So you could pause here, stop it here, write them down. Okay. Right. Let's move on. So we've seen positive sentences with he, she, and it. There we go. Now we're going to see negative sentences. Okay, so remember that this negative sign. So, oh, hiya. I am talking to him. I'm saying you. You don't live in Manchester. She does not live in Liverpool. She doesn't live in Liverpool. He does not live in London. He doesn't live in London. So you can say does not, or you can say doesn't, okay? So this don't changes into does not or doesn't, okay? Right, let's just pause it here so you can have a little think. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to change the I sentences into she sentences, and I think this is where you need to take your notebook and write some answers in, and then check with my answers on the next slide. Okay, so number one is the example. Okay, I'm going to take my little doll again. Okay, number one is the example. I get up at 7:15. She gets up at 6. Oh no, she doesn't get up at 6. I'm so sorry. It says on here she gets up at 7:15 as well. Sorry about this. Okay, number 2, I have breakfast. Change it. Write it down into she what? Okay. So number 2, I have breakfast. Number 3, I watch the news on TV. Number 4, after that, I have a shower. Number 5, then I get dressed. Number 6, I go to work at 8:15. Number 7, I start work at 9 o'clock. Number 8, I finish work at 5 o'clock. So all these sentences, I want you to change the I, okay, into a she, okay? So what I think you should do here is pause, write the answers down, and then start the video again and compare your answers with my answers. Okay. So, number 1, I get up at 7:15. She gets up at 7:15. Number 2, I have breakfast. She has breakfast. Please be careful. Have changes into has. Number 3, I watch the news on TV. She watches the news on TV. This word here, watches, okay? Right. Okay, yes, so I was showing you this. I'm really sorry, I had to pause it for a minute. Okay, so we've done, yeah, so we're up to number 4. After that, I have a shower. Oh, I had to change dolls because my little girl took the other doll with the purple hair. So I'm just going to use her instead. This is a lady, this is a woman. Okay, so I have a shower. After that, she has a shower. Then I get dressed. Then she gets dressed. I go to work at 8:15. She goes to work at 8:15. I start work at 9 o'clock. She starts work at 9 o'clock. I finish work at 5 o'clock. She finishes work at 5 o'clock. Okay, so remember those pronunciation. You have watches and you have finishes. So when you have a ch or a sh sound at the end of the verb, you're going to have a is when you add es at the end. Okay, that was it. So this is one of the last slides of the presentation, and I thought I would put a little challenge on, okay? So it's a little bit more difficult, and it's just for you to listen and understand, that's it, but the repetition is very good. So she doesn't get up at 6. She gets up at 7:15. So here you can see I've put the first part of the sentence, I've put a negative sentence. And then the second part, I've put a positive sentence, okay? So, oh, do you know what? I forgot to put, this is very naughty. Not put a full stop at the end of my sentence, that's terrible. Here we go, all correct now. So, she doesn't get up at 6, she gets up at 7:15. Now here, please be careful, okay? what I see a lot of with my students is that they forget when they put doesn't, and then they still add an S at the end of the verb, but you don't. Please, please, please do not put an S here, okay? There's only one S, okay? In the negative, the S goes on doesn't, and in the positive, it goes on the main verb, okay? Do not do, doesn't, and then gets. That is not correct. Right. Number 2, she doesn't listen to the radio. She watches the news on TV. Number 3, she doesn't go to work at 9 o'clock. She goes to work at 8:15. Number 4, she doesn't start work at 8 o'clock. She starts work at 9. Number 5, she doesn't finish work at 4. She finishes work at 5 o'clock. Oh, no, there's no number 6. Right, let's move on. So you can move on, you can continue, or you can pause here and read again and practice, maybe change the verbs, maybe practice with some different verbs that we learned last week. Just try and get some practice on this. Okay. Yes, now we're going to do some listening. It's purely for pronunciation.
34.3. Live. Lives. Watch. Watches. Take. Takes. Go. Goes. Do. Does. Finish. Finishes. Use. Uses.
Okay, so this is all about saying and pronouncing these verbs when they have an S at the end. Okay, so some S's are going to end up being a Z sound. Live, lives. Okay, some are going to end up being a is sound. Watch, watches. And some are going to end up being a normal S sound. So take, takes. Go, goes, a Z sound. Okay. Finish, finishes. Use, uses. Okay. Right. So that was for the pronunciation. Now, make sure you complete the worksheets that I will put on the website so that you can get more practice. Okay, so see you soon. Bye-bye.